Welcome
back
to the Backlog Boys podcast at the cinema. I'll say the same thing again. You guys are trying to take the one thing I have in life, the intro, you jerks. This is our second time doing this, so hopefully we don't fuck this up again.
Yeah.
But we are back with the boys as always. Sweet Summer Ray Samuel.
How you doing?
Hit him with that 1-2, buddy. And we have Dr. Death Alexander.
I'm gonna murder you.
He's gonna hit you with 3-4 and end your life. Okay, I go 1-2, he goes 3-4, and then you're dead.
I don't know what you said, death. I'm like, what does death
I'm,
do?
Just say a boxing
I'm
term.
going to kill you with the left hook.
I'll murder you in a boxing ring too. Don't say
Murder. Now we know who liked the movie the most.
Yeah, he loves this one.
I actually.
Anyway, and then I'm here too, Omar. I guess I'm dead.
The amazing, oh master, oh mayor.
The dead body.
The dead body.
I guess I'm the. What is it? What is it?
The Brahma Bull, I think is what you
Yeah,
said last
I said
time.
the Brahma. I said the Brahma Bull, which I was making a joke that like the what's it called, the Bronx Bull or whatever. That's his actual name, not the actual movie's name, which is Rage Eating Bull.
Like the Six Flags ride.
My favorite ride.
I wonder how many times we've said
good
that
ride.
today. Oh, that's like 10 minutes.
Actually, that's my least favorite ride at Six Flags.
Really?
I don't
That's
think I've
alright.
ever ridden
It's
it.
pretty good.
I like the Viper.
We should take Omar on it.
American Eagle. Never
I
seen
hate Six Flags. Anyways, Martin Scorsese made this movie. This movie came out in 1980. We're not doing the same bits again.
I don't know who that is. Explain me to me.
He's a
Who is Martin Scorsese? That's fucking.
Martin Lawrence directed this movie.
Wait, the guy from Bad Boys 2?
Yeah, that's his famous movie, not Bad Boys 1
Will Smith.
or The Martin Show.
I'm pretty sure Bad Boys 2 is bigger than either of those.
I don't know. I don't care.
We're just gonna derail this entire episode.
We're not talking about fucking explosions guy. What's his fucking name?
Martin Lawrence?
No, the director.
Michael Bay?
Michael Bay. Not talking about that guy. We're talking about a different director here.
A
Talking
better
about-
director.
Martino Scorsese.
Yeah, we're talking about Quentin Tarantino. This movie.
Martin Scorsese.
This is already the worst episode you've ever heard
This
that.
is so bad.
Who knew? I mean, it might be good.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways.
Anyways, Martin Scorsese. I'm never gonna say his name right, probably.
Let's just call him Martin.
Yeah, let's call him Marty.
Martin.
Stop.
I'm fine with Marty.
No, there's one of his friends do call him that.
I don't
In the
care.
interviews, they call
We're
him
his
Marty.
friends now.
What's that supposed to be?
I'm close personal friends with Martin Scorsese. Did you not know? I have his phone
I
number.
hang out with him.
Anyways, this
His
movie came out in what, in the 1980s?
1980. No, exactly 1980.
Nice.
Okay.
This is one of many Martin movies where, and I think this one's considered probably his magnum opus. Is like his best movie ever. But so the budget of his movie, 18 million, inflation, which is fucking insane. 62.8 million.
Jesus.
The box office, 23.4 million. Translation to 81.6 here. I imagine the promotion. 80s. I don't fucking. What do you like? You get the local newspaper boy.
They put out an ad in the theater, probably.
Yeah, like the fucking
Yeah.
those, like old movies where like there's a fucking poster right next to the fucking.
I mean, it's
theater.
probably
Yeah.
just Martin Scorsese, Raging Bull, and then
That's probably it. Yeah, I mean,
De Niro.
that's
coming-
enough to get butts
coming
in
next
seats.
year.
That's all you need. Fucking Robert De Niro, Martin Scorsese. That's it. You're sold,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, probably.
But this movie was nominated for. I have to physically count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Oscars in the 80s or whatever.
How many did it win?
Lucky
Two.
number 8.
Okay.
They won 2. Do you want to guess which ones he thought they won?
Music.
It won Best Supporting Actor.
Music.
It won.
Oh, sorry.
Did it win music or not?
No.
It won Best Screenplay, Best Original Screenplay,
It won.
Best Adapted Screenplay.
Best lead.
I could just say it.
Best
Instead of just
female
guessing,
lead.
guess, I'll just say
Best
it. Just name every award. Editing, best film editing,
Better than the last movie we saw.
and then yes, true. And then best actor,
Okay.
De Niro, which but yeah, like Joe Pesci for supporting actor, the brother,
Bish.
the girl.
I feel like he should have won.
Yeah, he was. I think he did one later.
He was-
in life. I think he won for Goodfellas.
Yeah, another movie that is better than this.
But yeah, I think that was like that movie and The Elephant Man. Also was nominated for 8 Oscars.
The fuck is Elephant Man?
Like you know, I don't do like the fucked up face.
What?
He's like deformed looking or
What,
something.
what
like
do
that.
you? I've never heard of that.
It's an old fucking movie.
Why you
Obviously, it's in the 80s.
Why are you telling me about old things, Omar? Tell me about this movie.
This old thing.
This old movie.
Also, just for funsies, what won best movie was Ordinary People.
What?
Never heard of it.
What is that?
And then Robert Redford. You know
Man.
who that is.
The 80s sucked. If that's what was nominated.
Well, to be fair, movies suck.
Yeah.
If you know who Robert Redford is though.
No.
No.
You remember Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
The old dude who's the bad guy.
Maybe.
That's Robert Redford.
Oh yeah.
He's the director of that movie. So he's like an actor director guy.
Okay.
But he directed the one that won. He won the Oscar, I think, as well for director. Anyways, that's honestly all the stat effects I have
Okay.
for the pre before spoilers. All that stuff more. Another thing I guess is that Joe Pesci, the guy who played with the brother,
Mhm.
he was like a nobody really. Like he was barely in it. He was like in one other movie that was like
And this
terrible.
movie
And then
shot him up.
Yeah, basically.
Hmm.
And then
Okay.
the girl who plays the wife, Kathy Moriarty. I hope I said her name right. This is her first movie ever,
Yeah, I think she was 17 from what I saw when she filmed this.
which works perfectly for her character. But we'll talk about that later.
It could have been better.
But let's get into this movie. I don't even remember if I brought up in this timeline or the other timeline. But this is like one of like it's just considered one of the best movies in like history of film.
Really?
Like people people say like oh like the top and the like top like 50s and 30s and like all this list that people have.
Wow.
Like
Other
big
Scorsese
magazines
movie
and
we talked
shit.
about was better.
Wow.
I think also like it was the first movie to put in like the fucking like, the vaults.
Oh, like
cinema or whatever.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was like Raging Bull's I think the first one
Really?
they put in there or whatever.
The one
Wow.
where they found that Blade Runner director.
No, that's just like
That's just an archive.
That's just yeah.
Okay, that's not the vault.
The White House, the U.S. like government like keeps like a archive of movies that they think are of historical value.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Shrek is in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
God.
you know the standards at the high apparently.
Yeah.
But how do we before we go into the action? How many other Scorsese movies have you guys actually seen?
0.
Scorsese actually started my like I want to watch like big director films binge that I've had recently.
Yeah.
I saw Goodfellas.
I think it's on my
The
list.
Irishman,
I didn't want to watch
The
that.
Departed,
Nope.
I watched that.
and a couple other ones that I can't name off. The
There are
top of
other
my head.
other movies.
But I've seen other Scorsese
Casino,
films.
Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah,
other
I want to
ones
see
as well.
that one.
Nope.
But
Didn't he do Gangs of New York?
I think so. Yeah.
I haven't seen that one either.
That's on the
Like
list.
again, this is my
Yeah,
first
yeah, yeah,
Scorsese
yeah.
movie.
I've only seen Departed. I think, and I think Departed was obviously way better.
You haven't seen Goodfellas?
No, I saw my list. I really want to watch
This
it.
movie is like Goodfellas, but Goodfellas is way better.
Better.
It does it.
I think Godfather.
It executes it way better. The premise, like,
But
yeah.
okay, I think we all might be in the same agreement where like it definitely is not the best movie.
No.
It's
I
not
don't
the
agree
best.
with its ranking in history and how people view it. But I will say I think I might be the most positive of the three of us.
I think
I did like it.
I liked it. I think watching Goodfellas before this really ruined
Messed
me.
it up.
Because like it's essentially the same thing. It starts off in one time period, and you see
Jumps.
you see the dude age throughout the years. In this one, it's more about him self-destructing. Whether in Goodfellas, it's more about him just becoming a fucking
Mobster.
selling drugs. Yeah.
Yeah. Sam.
I am back on my shit again, guys. I liked this movie the least of you, and it's controversial. Especially,
I don't know if you did.
it's controversial, but I know why I don't like it. I like it the least out of you three because I like the last movie we did better. I liked the Boondock Saints better than this movie.
I wouldn't go that far.
My notes, I take notes from a lot of these movies, and I usually fill up a page or two. I did half a page for this movie because I was just kind of just generally bored. Like I'm just kind of this is fine.
I feel like this movie was better written than the last one we saw. So like watching it, I felt like I liked the other one better, but thinking about it, settling down on it, this one was a better movie.
It's a more cohesive narrative, right?
Yes.
But like I was talking to my brothers about this, I'm like, this narrative doesn't engage me in any way. Like the movie is framed to be like an old timey like black and white movie.
I also realized before we talk, we should probably explain what the movie is. I don't think we even described it.
Oh yeah.
Basically, it's Robert De Niro. He's a real life guy, Jake LaMotta. Just basically his life from his beginning of his like peak, going through his whole like life as a boxer, then his post boxing career and the stuff he does with his family and then his significant others.
Essentially, it's about a man that, like, he's overcome with jealousy in every step of his life, and kind of destroys his life.
He's like
towards
a
the end.
self-destructing guy. Basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of the plot. That's basically the simple plot of the movie.
Because you can't say it's a boxing movie because it's not a boxing movie. There's boxing elements in the movie.
Yeah.
Do you know how many boxing minutes? I looked it up.
I don't know,
Probably
there's
like 10
5.
minutes. It was, yeah.
10 minutes. It's 10 minutes of just only boxing.
I like before watching it, I did a little a bit of reading up on it, and people were saying, "Oh, a good boxing movie." No, it's not a fucking boxing movie.
No, it's just like, it's almost like a peek into this guy's life. It's like a slice of life with boxing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Just aside from that general plot, like that plot is interesting, I guess. But we mentioned earlier, Rocky came out a couple years before this, and I think Rocky's a much more compelling boxing story. All right.
To be fair, I've never seen this, so I can't agree or disagree.
And then his personal story, like I was like, oh, this is neat, but like this guy just sucks. Like I felt like there was nothing pulling me through this movie. Like the performances were fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I felt like they were framed. Like if you told me this movie came out in the like 60s, I would have just said, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like I felt like the acting was stiff throughout this movie, but I think it was intentionally stiff to make it like that old timey era.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think if because you thought that means like they probably did their job then, because
they did their job.
like,
But
because this movie is in the 80s, like the movie was made in the 80s, like in the 80s, but it's based off of like in the 40s,
yeah,
50s, and then later in the 60s as well.
so they did their job, but at the same time, like I don't care. Like it's not engaging to me that they did it like that way. Like if somebody made a silent film now in 2022, I would be like, good for you. I don't care. I'm not watching a silent film.
Well, to be fair, this movie isn't a silent film.
No. But I'm saying, like, for example, like,
Would you watch
if somebody's
would
going,
you watch a black and white movie now?
if it was intentional, like, wasn't there Roma? Wasn't
Lighthouse.
that Lighthouse? I would
I
watch
watched
that.
Lighthouse,
Right,
and I liked it.
and that was fine.
Yeah,
But,
but I was
like-
okay, way better than Fine. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I made it sound like I didn't like it. I love that movie. Lighthouse is great.
Yeah, but in this movie, it's framed in a way that's supposed to put it in this old timey era, and I wasn't interested in the story. Like, I wasn't engaged by the story because there was
like,
nothing pulling me.
You're
through.
already out.
So I'm already checked out. Like I wasn't paying it that much. Like I was watching it, but I wasn't like actively like watching it. You know what I mean?
I kind of like, I like that they did the black and white for like the 1940s side of the film, but like later it goes up to like the 80s, right?
60s.
60s. There was color back then. Color was introduced in the 50s.
Yeah, it would have been kind
I
of.
would have liked it if they like. There was one scene where they added color.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I wish the rest of the movie after that was in color.
Where?
When they show like them getting married.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's
That
like in the
was-
middle. Not even that.
That was in color, and I wish everything else after that was in color because
That would've been neat.
it would have shown the different in time periods. I know Goodfellas does something similar where the first half of the movie is more like darker colors, darker atmosphere,
Yeah.
and the later like side of the movie when he's like
doing better.
He's doing worse.
Oh.
But it's like set in later in time. It's like I think it's the 80s. So like,
Vibrant.
yeah, it's more colorful. More you see the sun more.
Okay.
I wish it was more like that.
I'll talk about since we've been on the black and white shit or whatever.
Yeah.
I still don't remember if this timeline Alex mentioned or not. That like a lot of other boxing movies came out the same year right before this movie came out. Rocky came out, I have it here, 1976.
Yeah.
Rocky 2 came out 79. The Main Event 79. The Prize Fighter 79. A bunch of other boxing movies were going to come out the year after this as well. So like all those movies were in production around the same time.
Yeah.
So to differentiate himself from like those movies, he's like, let's put it black and white then,
Okay.
because it wouldn't be the same as the other movies. Another thing was that like he didn't want to show the blood. Like, he didn't want to show actual blood because he thought it'd be too like gory to show this. So obviously it's black and white. The blood doesn't look
Yeah.
as
bad.
as gruesome as it is or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the other thing was I think Jake, because Jake LaMotta was involved in the movie a lot. When they do with the gloves, he was like, that's not the color gloves you used back then. They had completely different colors. So they're like, fuck it, it's just black and white. There's no way you can.
You can tell.
It's either
can-
black or white.
Yeah.
I think another thing he brought up that were like, I'm not no film expert, so unless I'm wrong, I apologize. But like, I guess the films they were using to film color back then, the film wasn't like, it wouldn't survive for a couple years later. Like, it would just like deteriorate.
Deteriorate.
So if he used so he didn't want to use that anymore. Like he was like, oh, let me just use the black and white one instead, and it would last
Longer.
forever, basically.
Yeah.
So I guess the films they were using back then for color, I see they approved it now. But back then it wasn't that great, so he was like, let me stop. So like it won't be like fucked up in the future, and then you can't fucking watch the film anymore.
Yeah.
That part, I'm not 100% like if that's right or wrong.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure those movies. Rocky is 76 and in color, and it still exists today. You know?
Well, again, like maybe like back then, like they could recover it.
yeah, but he was,
I mean, I don't know.
since he's like a big cinema guy, he probably was like, oh, the integrity of the movie.
Yeah,
Is
I
not
mean,
the
that's what's
same.
like maybe that thing because he's very obviously like
Yeah.
a super cinema guy. But in my opinion, yeah, I think I did probably liked it the most out of all three of us.
Yeah.
I don't view it. I don't view it as a bad movie. I think it's an okay movie.
It's very.
But I was obviously I don't think all of us are disappointed by a lot. But I think the acting is like incredible. I think that propelled the movie higher than it should have been, in my opinion.
The acting was really good.
The De Niro, especially De Niro and Pesci, those two, like the two brothers or whatever, they were just like easily the best. Every time they were together, I loved it. They were the fucking the best out of the entire.
Maybe
cast.
that's why Martin Scorsese keeps using them. In
Yeah,
the movies.
they're like in 6-7 movies together.
Yeah.
with those two.
I mean, it is believable, and I liked that, but I don't know. It just I wasn't impressed like you two. I guess.
Like I think because it just feels real,
yeah.
and that's why I think I liked it. I think I enjoy stuff.
Is that
like
what a young Robert De Niro really looked like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not the hair.
Okay.
Like and the eyebrows.
The
He had more.
the whole
shit.
time I'm like, because I'm a big fan of Ben Schwartz, and he really fucking looked like Ben Schwartz, and I'm like, where's the comedy? I'm
think
waiting for
it's-
this man to make a joke.
I think because Jake kind of looked more like that, so he probably like had his hair more, and like his eyebrows were definitely shorter than I think they normally are.
Yeah, no, because I had to. I'm like, I was wondering the whole time, like, is this really what he looked like? Did he really just look like fucking Ben Schwartz?
I don't think he looked like it. I'm pretty sure that's what he made himself to look like.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's so weird because like obviously Robert De Niro, he's old as fuck now. He's like in his 70s.
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
So like seeing him in this, I'm like, wow. Like, it
Doesn't-
feels weird.
He doesn't look like the same person.
Yeah, because like he's like tall and like he's fit as fuck in most of this movie, and now we kind of know him as kind of like older and smaller man. He's old as fuck now.
Yeah.
But, like it's so, it's kind of weird. It's a weird comparison, but like it's like kind of watching like a YouTuber from like the early 2000s and then watching them now where they're like 30-year-old men.
Yeah,
So, like when you see them when they're like in their 20s, they're like they're the same, obviously the same fucking, and they kind of look the same, but like it just feels so weird, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think Alex can definitely attest to that. When I met him, he was super into Smosh.
Yeah.
And I wasn't as into them as he was, but I was introduced more so to them from him. And like every once in a while, I'll see like Anthony Padilla show up, and I'm like, whoa, like that's that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's so weird to like see like, and this is like a bigger jump because it's the 80s, so like that's like what 40, 60 years ago.
Jesus.
Yeah, because the fucking 80s is a long time ago now.
Yeah.
So like, and seeing him there, I'm like, damn, that's so crazy to see. Like back then, this is like, oh, that's normal, you know, like that's him in his like normal times, and obviously we weren't even fucking
Yeah.
even an idea.
I'm pretty sure it's 40 years.
Also, that's all like, what's the other guy? Joe Pesci.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pesci.
he looks the same. not now, but like in later movies.
yeah.
Oh.
He looks the same.
Yeah.
He definitely is like looks old though.
Like Robert De Niro looks different in like when you see him in other Scorsese
Yeah,
movies,
yeah.
but Joe
Pesci's
Pesci,
the same guy.
he pretty much looks
Probably
the
because
same.
like again, like I mentioned earlier, like he's not a big name actually. Like I think he's just himself a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Did he lose weight for the end of the movie?
Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna bring that up earlier, but
Because
yeah.
I thought it was someone else, but then I'm like, no, it's like because I was watching it on Amazon Prime and
I
you
did too.
press pause and it shows you the actors there,
actors, yeah.
and it was him.
Yeah, he
I'm like-
lost weight for
I'm
the
like,
end and
damn.
stuff or whatever.
Interesting.
But I even though the 10 minutes of boxing, I love the boxing, and I'm upset there's only 10 minutes. I wish there was more.
Yeah.
I might understand why it's not that much time for it, but I don't agree with it because I thought that was like the most compelling stuff was the boxing scenes and the way it's shot because like again like Rocky and those movies came out. The way those fight scenes in the Rocky movies are completely different.
Yeah.
They're shot like from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie, the cameraman is basically in the ring with them. And at times, like the camera's on the dude's face when they're fighting.
I mean, also boxing fights aren't that brutal the way the movie shows them.
Yeah, it is. Back then, it was.
Back then, it was.
Because they said his fighting style was very like intense.
Oh, so just him, just Jake LaMotta.
I think other fights as well. Because it's
you see boxing fights right now. Like by the third round, everyone's all fucking tired. They can barely throw a punch.
I think it's just the style of boxing has changed now.
Yeah.
Before
Okay.
it was just two guys slugging it out, and now it's more about like dodging and like blocking and like you don't want to get hit as much. You know?
like I think if you look at old like MMA, that's probably also just really gruesome and shit. Like, because there's like probably less rules and less like stuff like
I've
that.
seen old MMA, and I feel like this movie just makes the boxing look too much, like too brutal.
Well, I think that is like because you just don't like you can't imagine it, but it is real though. It's not like it's fake. It's not like he made it up.
But I also think it's just like the magic of cinema, you know,
Yeah.
like where they're just like, oh, let's
Like-
make it
like
super intense.
There's
Well-
a scene where his face is all bruised up and he's all bloody.
That's real. That
and he's
happened
like
for real.
talking like nothing happened.
Because that I was gonna bring that. That's I'll talk about it right now real quick though. But like that really was.
Oh, that really
is that what
happened?
happened? Well, we'll talk about that
anyone else would have been like, I need to sit down. Get me out of here.
Because Jake, I looked him up as a person as well. Just some of the stuff. Yeah, he is like that. Like as a fighter, like he took a fuck ton of like hits.
yeah.
Like I think I read is like he's like his like the best chin because they keep fucking smashing his face in. His chin was just like
Staying.
his
Oh, yeah.
face never got fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
when he wasn't
fought.
fighting, he'd go up to his brother and he's like, fucking
Yeah,
hit me.
fucking like
Yeah.
he took a lot of shit or whatever,
Mhm.
and like that's why like his fights last so long because like yeah he like his fighting style was like he dishes out and as much as he takes as well. So that's why a lot of his fights go until like round 10 or whatever. Because like yeah he does hit hard, but he also gets fucking hit just as much.
Yeah.
So he's just really just like a wild animal, which is kind of a bull, which is I guess his nickname is
And he's
The
raging.
Raging Bull. But like, there's a character we haven't mentioned, the female lead of this movie. Alex asked this.
I'll let Sam take this one.
I want to bring this up though. Alex asked this, and I also was confused the first time she was introduced. She's 15. Her
ask
character.
this.
She's 15.
He
years
brought
old.
this up.
Oh, you asked how old was she? Remember?
I think when they first
Maybe.
introduced her at the pool, she's
15.
She's 14.
She's 14,
Oh my god.
and they get together that time.
like a year, like within the year.
He's 19.
Okay.
He's 19. They don't ever. I think it's weird that they
I think
bring
it
his
was
age.
weird because he's like a married man, like at that point. So I thought he was like
he's
mid 20s.
He's 19.
Okay.
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
When he lost the first loss he had,
Yeah.
he was 19,
Okay.
and he met her I think when she was at like that age, 14, 15.
Gotcha.
But like that's still like bad.
Yeah, it's
This
a pretty big
man
age gap.
Went to the pool to
The-
pick up a child.
Like not the age gap, more the fact that she's 15, 14, 14. Like if she was like 18 and he was like whatever, like fucking 22 or 3, that's okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But like yeah, she's 14, 15, and it's alluded to that this ain't her first time around.
yeah.
With some stuff.
Yeah.
So like that, but it's not one of those things where like we're not trying to say Martin Scorsese is a pervert. That's real life.
Yeah.
Like, that was a real thing.
Yeah.
She was that age.
Like
when-
he was making it true to life. He wasn't trying to
like he didn't make it up.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like being a creeper about it. Like that was her age and that was his age, and I imagine that's what really happened
Yeah.
and they're in those times or whatever. Because it's the 40s, so like it's a bit more kind of barbaric I guess back then, where like people can hit their wife and no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
And like, because yeah, we mentioned her like Jake's character, Robert De Niro's character. He's already married, and like he doesn't. How does he really hit his wife his first wife in the movie?
Yeah.
They
But,
don't
like-
show it at least.
Like he's like fucking flipping over tables, always yelling at her. He grabs her and like kind of throws her,
Yeah.
and like everyone just screaming and shit. Like, hey, shut the fuck up! It's like, hey, you shut the fuck up! Hey, get out! I'll kill your dog! I'll eat your dog!
I thought it was really weird when Jake and his brother go out in the town that night and they don't invite Jake's first wife, and she's like, oh, spend a gay old time with your brother.
Yeah,
and
she
she
was
starts calling him the F word. And
Yeah,
was
she
like,
was
what's going
Probably
on?
because she's just upset. Like,
Yeah.
angry, because like, yeah, his relationship with his wife, his first wife, most of it was, like it's pretty bad.
His relationship with anyone.
It's
Yeah.
like it makes you wonder like how the fuck do they get together? Probably because I guess they kind of allude to what happens because how he gets the main girl in this movie, like how he is in the beginning as opposed to how he is like in the future
Yeah.
with his significant other. I think for me, I think it's Robert De Niro, man. He's just so great.
Yeah.
I think he's just like one, he deserved that Oscar, but like his acting was like the best. Like it makes you really think that like this guy is like unhinged. Like I got scared a lot of times where he's in a scene with a character. I'm like, he's gonna do something.
Do his fucking dead stare.
Yeah, like when
Oh
I
my
see him stare at like
God.
any character, I'm like, is he gonna kill them?
Yeah.
Because there's times where he basically says that he's like, I'm gonna kill you or whatever. But like I think a lot of people just say that back then, anyways.
Hey, so the thing I said earlier makes sense.
Oh
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I knew, that's why I assumed he was gonna. I didn't think he's talking about the doctor.
No, I don't know. He just said it. I'm like, what can I say?
Because he says that a lot. Everyone says that in the movie.
Oh,
Actually, a lot
okay.
of people are like, I'll kill you. But like he could. I can
Yeah.
see him doing that. and like it wouldn't be like past the realm of like believability or whatever. I'll go ahead.
Luckily or unluckily, he goes to jail for something else.
Yeah, that's like way later.
Well, we can talk a bit more about that after we talk about just generally.
Yeah.
We can wrap up the non-spoiler
I think
section.
another thing I want to bring up though,
Mhm.
where like the boxing thing as well, where like how it's rigged.
Oh yeah.
Like I would imagine how upset, like, because there's a scene we'll talk about later where like that there's a mafia guy
Mhm.
and Robert De Niro's brother Joey Pesci's character, he has a connection with the mafia, and that's why like Robert De Niro gets more bigger fights, not because he's actually talented, it's because the mafia basically control the whole
Boxing
circuit,
scene.
whatever.
Yeah.
'Cause that dude, that the mafia leader, is a real life guy. That's not his name though, but like that's based off a real dude who really was like basically controlling the whole like New York scene of boxing, and eventually obviously he was arrested, whatever. But like that must be like me as a like a sports fan. I think I'm the only one that like of real sports. I'm looking at Sam dead in the eye when I said that. Where like you have that idea where like it's hard not to be like, is this rigged? Because like it makes you enjoy shit less, because it's just like you want it to be a real competition between like the best and the best, and then like when you have that kind of rigged in the back of your head, you're just like, well, that sucks. Like,
Well, yeah, but you guys watch WWE, so
yeah, but like I don't watch WWE for the competitiveness. I watch
Yeah.
it for the entertainment.
I don't think
What's
it's
the
real.
point?
Oh, it's the way I describe it to people is it's just like modern day like stage plays. Like it's just like theater, but like physical theater, I guess.
But like
Oh.
I watch basketball, and I'm just like, I watch it now because it's fucking like it's stadium. Like I watch it because I want to watch the best basketball players play against each other, and
Yeah.
shit like that. So like, if like it ever came out, we're like, oh, this dude was like the fucking doing the cahoots and shit,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, that would fucking like ruin it for me.
Yeah.
Like I can, I guess back then there's less news outlets
Mhm.
where you know that like what would happen, but like I can't imagine people like I want to watch boxing because it's like rigged all the time.
Yeah.
No.
Well, like I always say, like the best, taking it back to professional wrestling, I think the best professional wrestlers are the ones who like are like the best actors, where they make it either the most believable or just the most entertaining to watch. Like,
Now, the people who are athletes like Kurt
Yeah.
Angle, Brock Lesnar,
yeah, and like they bring the athletic interest to it, but
or
like,
people who are like just pros like Bret Hart.
yeah,
and
but
them.
with like real sports, it's just about technical ability, and like the drama of it is just like an extra flavor, but it's not the point of watching real sports.
Also, this movie made me realize what my sport is. It's boxing.
It's boxing.
Or just people beating the shit out of each other. UFC, boxing, I don't care.
I think your favorite sport would be beating women. Mr. Dr. Death. over here.
don't say that.
No, he's a nice gentleman. He does not follow Jake LaMotta's
Yeah.
relationship plans. But
I don't plan on being a boxer.
no. But
Yeah, no. I'm kidding.
let's talk
But,
about.
so do we recommend it?
Do you?
Go to me last.
Okay. I'll start this off then, since I'm the most negative. Don't watch this. Watch Rocky. Watch I don't know, like Creed. I don't know. I feel like in terms of boxing movies, if that's what you're looking for, don't watch this. If you want just like a good Robert De Niro movie, this is a good option. But I think there's better movies you could watch for De Niro. And aside from that, I don't know what else you'd be really looking for. Like, I don't know. In general, I feel like there's better movies you could watch that would leave you feeling better about your experience. This one just kind of ends and you're like, oh, okay then. This sucks.
Okay. Well, again, like, I'm going to say it again. Would I watch this with my dad? The answer is fuck no. He's going to be like, hey, you see this man being women? You do that? I'm like, no.
Alex, is that you?
No, no.
Alex?
I'm sorry. I don't.
Is that what you're working out?
No,
I don't
didn't-
beat that.
I'd imagine watching this with my dad. He would get bored like halfway through.
Yeah, no.
My dad would be like, "Where's the boxing?"
Yeah, no. I feel like my dad would be like, I want more boxing. Well,
Yeah.
probably not. I don't know. I don't know what my dad likes. I wouldn't watch it with him, though.
Yeah.
I don't know his dad.
I don't know your dad either. I don't know anyone's dad. Oh God, I'm like Jake LaMotta. No, I'm just kidding. I think if you're one of those people who are like if you have it on your list, I think you should still watch it, because maybe we are in the minority. Obviously, we are actually.
We
But,
are
like,
minorities.
We are the
I mean,
in that aspect.
Like I said, I feel like if I haven't seen Goodfellas, I probably would have enjoyed it more.
And again, I've only seen The Departed, but I'm also kind of like I'm still in it because I love the acting
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and some of the directing stuff in it.
I think there's just better Scorsese movies you could start with.
There are better.
Yeah,
Scorsese
I'm not.
movies.
Yeah, I'm not saying like again
Like
I
me-
would recommend it, but it doesn't mean I like loved it.
Yeah.
I would still recommend. Like if my brother, because my brother loves movies,
Yeah.
he probably would watch it anyways. But like I would still be like, watch it, but like don't get too excited.
Has he seen it?
I actually don't know. I actually never asked him. I actually don't know. But like, yeah, it's one of those things where like, watch it, but don't come in thinking it's like the fucking best movie. 'Cause maybe it'd be better if you don't think it's like, you just watch it, you know? You kind of happen to go.
Omar's brother, have you seen this? Let us know in the comments.
Please
He's gonna be like,
talk to me.
I beat women.
I love women. Don't worry.
Bro,
About
don't do it. But yeah, I'd still recommend it. Not to everyone though.
It's definitely like in the lower tier of movies we've watched.
It's not the
so
worst
far.
movie.
It's no.
I don't know. I don't even know what the worst movie is so far.
Lady
Dog
Bird.
Saints.
No.
Okay.
No.
No more Lady Bird, Omar.
I love Lady Bird.
Actually, I don't know. I gotta start making this like real tier list thing. Going on.
I have two.
I thought we
movies.
loved it, but it wasn't like the lower because it was the third movie we saw. We saw Jojo Rabbit and then fucking 2049.
I have two
Oh my
movies
gosh.
lower than this movie.
Okay.
Boondock
Which is
Saints.
Boondock Saints and Swiss Army Man.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You think
Okay.
Swiss Army Man's lower than this?
Yeah.
Swiss Army Man is real cinema, dude. Come on.
I don't know.
Oh, come on,
Anyways,
man. Fart jokes.
These were jump into spoilers. Spoilers. And with the 1-2 woman.
Was a firefight. I'm just gonna keep
Wrong
throwing that in. I'm just gonna keep throwing that in. Fuck you guys.
Fuck my wife.
Spoilers. Put it for this one.
Fuck my wife.
Yeah, I'm keeping this.
Fuck my wife.
No, bro. Why would you ask that?
I want to talk about that scene.
Yeah.
What is great? That's why I feel like there's those scenes that they push it to like the next level for me. Like it's better. But Martin Scorsese. So I guess when they shot the scene originally, Joe Pesci, like his reaction wasn't good enough. So instead, I was the movie he said.
They had Robert De Niro go fuck his actual wife.
Yeah, he did for real. No, Robert De Niro said, "Did you fuck your mother?"
Oh.
So then his reaction to that was
He wanted to
what
go
in
fuck
the
his
movie,
mother.
he's like, and then I guess in the script there was no like him arguing with him.
Okay.
It was just gonna be that, and that was it.
Yeah.
So that's why his reaction a lot of times is him being like just looking confused. It's
Yeah.
because he is confused.
Yeah.
So like that's why he wanted it. Like he wanted to cat like
Capture that.
like him being just like genuinely like what? Why are you attacking me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or whatever. Like because that's why I'm saying like that scene is great.
Yeah.
With the brothers, all their scenes together, just like it just feels so real.
I will say I've heard the only other time I've heard about this movie was somebody talking about like the intensity of it, and then because I knew it was a boxing movie, I thought this was about the intensity of the boxing
boxer.
scenes. But honestly, those are cool, but they're the most intense scenes are just Jake
him with his brother and his wife
hurting people,
Yeah.
like towering over people and stuff. That's intense, but in a different way.
There's that
Not in a good way.
scene where Joe Pesci is fighting that fucking mob dude.
Oh yeah,
That scene was great.
That was weird.
Because it was funny.
Yeah.
What do you think is weird? You know,
Well, it was weird because like you wouldn't expect that from his character. You expect that from Jake's character.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jake kind of did start it by saying, "If you see my wife with someone,
Yeah.
beat their ass."
I
Yeah.
think because Joey, that's his character's name, right? It's Joey, right?
I think this is Joe. Like they
think
just took
it's-
his name.
I think it's Joey.
Yeah.
'Cause I think everyone I looked it up, I think his name was Joey. But like, I think because I said they're brothers, and it's like I think he also has that like in him, that Jake in him, like that like hard aggression. Just that he's more calm about
he
it.
tames
But
it.
there are times where he like lashes out, or I'm on his side, but then he does something. I'm like, all right, you just you turn to a Jake there, buddy.
Yeah.
So like that scene, I think that like shows that as well.
Yeah.
I thought he was great though, because he was like, "Oh, we're calm," and he just grabs it, and his glasses him
Yeah.
again. That was perfect.
He's like beating the dude with the fucking door.
yeah, I thought he
Yeah.
killed him. I just like smashed his head.
I
in,
thought
like,
so, yeah.
Daredevil style, like fucking.
He was
Some guy.
violent.
Yeah, fuck it. But the brother Joe Pesci, like him and Jake together were like, all their scenes are great. That scene where he's like, "Punch me,"
Oh yeah.
he really did. Like that was a real like he just straight fucking actually just kept decking him in the fucking face.
Oh
for
my
real.
god.
Okay.
And he actually slapped him,
Huh.
to, like kind of keep going or whatever.
Yeah,
a lot of those scenes they were shot to be like for real,
Yeah.
Mm.
and I think that's all that helps the whole like tense because you're like this feels real because a lot of it is. But there are times though where the punching, it's like you can tell it's like they're not
Yeah.
hitting each other, and the sound effects are like a gunshot or like a watermelon, like
Yeah.
that or whatever. Because the boxing scenes, and I like the like almost campiness of it, where like it's not real but it's real.
Mm.
Where like it's like sometimes when you hit each other, you can obviously tell it's not fucking real.
Yeah.
But like that adds to it, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It makes it fun. But I just wish there was more boxing in it. Like I think the first quarter of the movie is the most pointless shit.
Yeah.
Especially with
Yeah.
with the wife when they have like a borderline sex scene.
Oh yeah.
Porn,
Oh, my-
all, in my opinion, pointless.
Yeah.
I was watching. I was like, "Is this a porn? What am I watching? Why am I watching
This
this?"
is my dad's house. He's not home.
Well, I think that adds to Jake's character because at first he's like, "Oh, like I like you" and all that. He's all sweet and shit. And after he,
Does all that.
gets the deed done, he's just like, "Well, if she will sleep with me, she'll sleep with anybody." And that's where he gets all violent with her. He gets
Yeah.
all protective and jealous.
That scene as well, where like he pours ice in his underwear. Apparently, that scene was supposed to be him jerking off
Oh.
in the ice pool.
Oh.
But the guy who wrote that, he didn't write it because of the movie. He was just writing the most like wacky ass shit to see what he can get.
Yeah.
And they just left it with the whole putting on his ice in his underwear. Or
drawers,
whatever.
yeah.
I thought that was to calm him down.
I thought so too.
Because obviously when you get ice cold for your women who the 0 women who watch this,
Yeah.
like you put ice on a man's parts, it shrinks them down to non-existent.
Get them back to normal.
That's what I thought he was doing there,
Yeah.
but I guess not. He's just being a psycho.
Yeah, I guess so. I thought it was interesting how they kind of, obviously at the beginning of the movie they show like they do like a flash forward to see where he's at later on in life.
I like the first scene is like
But there's like
in the beginning.
there's like scenes throughout the movie that kind of hint at, oh, maybe this is where he got the idea. Like there's that time where they're at the bar, him and his brother
I
at the
know
bar,
what
and
you're talking about.
they see the comedian, and I'm like, oh, maybe that he got the idea from there, and then he buys a bar, and then eventually he becomes like the host. And there's just a lot of interesting like threads throughout the movie, but at the same time I was just kind of
Out of it.
Yeah.
out of it. So I think I just needed to be in a
Boxing mood.
just a different mood. I was expecting a full-throated boxing.
Yeah.
I feel like that third act kind of just it doesn't live up to the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I think the first act was the worst act. The second act was obviously the best one.
Yeah.
I think the third one, like it goes down, but I still think it's up.
I think the third act just moves around in time periods too much because you go from him being the owner of a club to him being in jail to him being a fucking comedian at a fucking
Random dive bar
Yeah.
almost. Yeah. Like,
there are a lot of scenes where I'm like, what is the point?
yeah.
Where I'm like, why is this here? I
there's
don't
the
care.
part where he's like reconnecting with his brother. He's just like, kiss me, come on, kiss me, and then
Give me
they
a kiss.
never
I thought-
never see him again.
I think that's fine. 'Cause I think in real life they're not. They never did.
Yeah,
really
but
rekindle.
it didn't have to be in the movie.
No, but I think it was just to show
like to end
I
that kind of
guess.
like chapter of the relationship.
I think more so it just kept showing that he's more and more alone now. Like he lost his
Okay.
wife, he lost his kids, and now like the last person who really backed him was his brother. And now he doesn't even have that.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't even remember how the movie ended.
It just ends with him.
Yeah, go ahead.
It kind of comes back to that scene from the beginning where he's waiting in that dressing room, kind of like talking to himself. And he has this like speech or something that is essentially kind of a reflection about his relationship with his brother, right?
So no,
No, what's
but
that?
you'd think that, right?
Okay.
So that in the end of the movie, he quotes another movie
Okay.
called On the Waterfront, which is another boxing movie from like the 50s. And that's also one of the, like the best boxing movies. But again, I'm not gonna whatever. But he's just quoting that, and a lot of people, and obviously me and you included, were like, I thought that was supposed to be reflecting of his brother. It's not.
Oh.
Apparently, Jake LaMotta, like in just in general, would love quoting movies and TV shows all the time. So like he would do that in his shows where he would just quote. Like remember like in the middle, like later, and like he quotes Sugar Ray's thing. We're like,
Oh, yeah.
like, so he just does that in general. And the original he's gonna quote Shakespeare originally, but then like one of the guys was like, let's just do this one
Yeah.
because it makes more sense if you put it like him talking about a brother because that movie ends with a brother. Or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
But that's not supposed to reflect his relationship with his brother.
Okay.
It's just a thing he quotes, which when I read that, I thought that diminished that scene more.
For sure, because it wasn't intentional. It was just like,
And not
Just
that,
saying.
and not even like I'm fine again. Like it's a quote from a different movie. I don't care.
yeah.
Like I just thought it would be perfect as like it also reflects the end how he feels with his brother,
Exactly.
but it's not.
It's not about,
Apparently.
that's not why they did it.
I
They
think
just
that's
did
what
it.
Martin said.
Yeah.
That was the intention or whatever.
Do you think it might just be one of those like snobby things where he's like, no, that's not it. You're stupid.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
'cause
he doesn't want the public to be right.
Yeah, he's just like I got the vision. It's mine.
Yeah, you didn't come.
you didn't
up
make
with
this movie. I
Or
made
maybe
this
it's something like he did it, but then like he didn't for some reason didn't connect for him.
movie.
And then
He
when
just missed it.
and then when somebody else brought it up, he's like, no,
wrong.
that's not at all what I was thinking of
I'm
doing.
right.
Shit, that's a good idea, but no, that's not it.
One thing about that scene though,
Yeah,
I guess I think they shot that like 19 times, and I think Robert De Niro was scared because he obviously it's a quote in the movie
yeah,
where like he didn't want it to make it seem like he was just quoting a movie.
yeah,
So what they did was because they recorded like 19 different times. They got the one where he sounds the most like shitty,
Okay.
where it makes it sound like someone is trying to quote a movie.
Yeah.
So like that's where they got that. The scene what's in the movie. It's like is that where him like it sounds the most like wooden, like he like stumbles his words sometimes.
Yeah,
or
and he's
whatever.
like trying to remember the full quote, but he
And
can't
again, like
fully
that,
get it.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
Like
It works for his character, and then right after that, he like stands up and starts like doing.
he
this
does. He's
sort
like yeah, showdown or whatever he says.
of- he does like boxing practice, so it shows that he's
boxing or whatever.
that he kind of either he misses it or there's something about that still like flows through his
Good,
blood.
like all habits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, when he gets like to the fat version of him,
yeah,
a lot of those scenes I was just like I didn't care. Like when the comedy bits, like
Yeah.
I didn't care about any of that.
yeah.
The only thing I cared about is when he went to jail,
Mhm.
when he has that mental breakdown in the cell by himself.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about why he went to jail?
So he did what he did to his wife. He got these underage girls,
Yeah.
led them to overaged men.
Well, also he just in general like the main thing was that they were underage and he let them drink at his bar.
He was also
more about
Oh, was it
because
also-
he led men because he led to men.
I didn't catch that.
That's because he's like, oh, like did you show these to men?
Oh.
Introduce these women to men.
We also
He's like, I introduced a lot of people to a lot of people.
we saw him.
Yeah.
Well, what he did, yeah, but
He's
like
macking with those girls.
that was the biggest reason.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
got sent to jail.
I just missed that part.
because he let because they're 14. Or whatever. I like that scene where he's like, "You think she's 14? Look at her."
Yeah, and like
She's
your
14.
wife was 14, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh yeah, you were like 15. She was 14,
Yeah.
15, and also you were 19, so it wasn't that bad. You're now like
Pe-
40. I
People
don't know.
don't be like Jake LaMotta.
And
He's not a role
don't be
model.
a great role model for that man because he ain't too hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scene though when he's in the cell and he breaks down was like I thought that was great because it just him like
it was really good.
it just him like just finally like realizing like how fucked he is.
I don't know.
Starts hitting the wall.
I think it's like the most unearned breakdown that I've ever seen. Like it's just like because it's just like all these fucking years of being the same person.
So okay,
And just now, you're getting a crack. Now that you actually face consequences, now you're like cracking.
I'm gonna say this too. So Jake LaMotta, he only died recently, like 2017. So obviously he watched this movie when it came out. He watched the movie,
Yeah.
and he literally said, "Oh, was I really that bad?" And he asked the wife character in the movie, Vicky.
Yeah,
They're not asked. They weren't together anymore.
yeah,
He asked her,
yeah,
"Was I that bad?" And she's like, "You were worse."
yeah.
Oh.
So he doesn't have that. He
doesn't
currently
like real life. Him didn't have that
didn't
moment.
have that. No, he did have that. But I'm saying like that's how bad he was.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even think he was that bad.
Sure.
So when he's like his wife left him and took all his kids, he lost his fucking place, and now he's in jail. That's probably the only time you're gonna get smacked the hardest. Where like this is you fucked up. But that shows that like look how long it took him to realize that.
Yeah.
And now in his like older days, he still didn't realize how bad he
mean,
was.
Yeah.
Even in the movie, like, yeah, he broke down, but he was still like, he was asking, like, why him? Why is he being punished?
Yeah, like he felt like he
yeah,
was
like,
picked on. And it's like, dude,
like,
you did this to
he
yourself.
feel like he didn't deserve like to be there. But
Yeah, he still
did.
doesn't accept it. That's
Yeah.
why I'm like that. It works though, because like it's just him seeing him break down like that.
I
A
don't
character
know.
who has only broken down one other time before that movie, and I thought that scene was great.
That
Where
was
he cries after he loses on purpose.
Yeah.
I thought that was incredible.
That was
too.
good. That was an earned one.
Because everyone
Yeah.
starts crying.
Yeah.
Even Joey, like he looks away and he's crying, and the old dude starts crying too.
Yeah.
Because like that's more of like the integrity of boxing. He purposely lost. It's like how disgusted he is with himself.
Yeah.
And like how could he kind of thing for him.
Yeah. But the jailhouse scene is the one I'm just like, eh.
I think that works just as well.
Like it's a well acted scene, but like within the context of the story, like
yeah.
I see that and I go, good, like good job, you did this, brother. Like
And then does he get out on bail?
I don't know, he tries to.
I think he
I
stays
think
there
it's-
for like a couple months.
Yeah, because he didn't want to sell his
belt.
box out.
Yeah,
I think I read in real life that I think he was there for like 6 months maybe.
I think it's funny that the pawn shop guy is like, if you just gave me the belt, it would have been worth more.
Yeah,
Like,
like, he would've gotten a lot, but obviously he doesn't want to.
yeah.
That's like I think it's like he's like that's his thing. He
Well-
he won that.
Well,
you know?
no, wasn't it just that he talked to someone else and they said, oh, the jewels in the belt would be worth more? Like, because the pawn shop guy is like, I wish you came to me first about this.
Or I feel like it's 'cause he wanted to keep the belt.
I think he just
Didn't
he just
wanna-
thought it was a good idea just to take the jewels because he didn't give a fuck about the jewels.
Yeah.
But the belt
That's what mattered.
meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to sell the belt.
Gotcha.
That's why the guy's like, why didn't you talk to me? Like, if you told me before, you fucking just destroyed your belt for no reason.
Yeah, that would have been
You could have figured something out.
Yeah.
But honestly, because again, how he's like an idiot, really.
Yeah.
He's just like thinking of himself. He just like, I'll just give him the jewels. That's enough, right?
Yeah.
He's like, no, that's not how that works, buddy. But
Any last remarks, Omar?
I
Sam?
think, I don't know. I love the acting. A lot of scenes are great. I like the black and white stuff. I didn't mind it at all. It's just that a lot of scenes felt uncomfortable, but not in a good way. Like especially with the wife character, where like the weird sex scene.
The beatings.
Yeah.
I will. Okay, this is gonna sound weird. I just did not mind those, but like it just shows how bad he is. I don't mind that. I was talking about like that one sex scene where it just felt weird. Like, I'm
Okay.
like, this is way too long, way too like zoomed in.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mind the. I didn't mind. I didn't like. I guess it's just what actually happens. Like after he first hits his wife, and then she tries to leave, he just like hugs her, and then that's pretty much it's okay or whatever. Like I understand, like in some situations that could happen, but with a character like her, I don't think that's.
I think she was biding her time
Yeah.
because she mentions like she only told him at the end when she was divorced when she had everything ready.
Yeah.
So she didn't want to leave him mid.
Okay.
I think because like the kid's probably been too young or like
Yeah. She wanted to like to find the right time for it.
yeah because like that's the only because she's like a very independent, strong woman. That sounded like that was unintentionally like I didn't mean to say it like that. Like, but like yeah, because I think that she was just biding her time
Maybe.
to like wait a bit. Like she's just like I'll just survive a bit more for the kids,
Yeah.
and then once like maybe the kids are older, and then I'm more stable and something like I can just fuck off or whatever.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Should we
But
choose the next movie?
What's that? Stats and facts.
Oh,
Spoilers edition. A lot of stuff. You know. Sometimes I don't appreciate. Maybe you need a good wallow.
Listen, I very silently mouthed, "Oh my god, this fucking guy." So you couldn't see that, but obviously, yeah. Go, Omar. I was just kidding. I love you.
I'm a backhand you.
what's
fuck my
that?
wife?
Stack of facts.
That's the one stat. Did you fuck my wife?
Did you fuck my wife? That's on the pod. You start interrogating me. Go.
What were you doing yesterday? Working. My wife?
Working my wife over.
Oh man.
Big
Anyway,
stats.
so that's the stats and facts and blah blah blah.
Facts.
So for this movie, Martin Scorsese was like his worst all time, like in his life. He almost killed himself with a drug overdose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cocaine. He was addicted to cocaine.
Oh,
And the last movie he made, New York, was a bomb.
okay.
So he was basically just like depressed as fuck.
Mhm.
So Robert De Niro came in and like when he was in the hospital, he got him the book Raging Bull, my true story, whatever the fuck the book's actually called. He was like, "You make this movie, come on, let's do it." And Martin Scorsese like gives all the credit to De Niro. That if he wasn't there for him, he probably would be dead now. And like he saved him, and he also was like, "This is gonna be his last movie
Yeah.
in the States." He was just gonna move to Europe after this movie and like just make like small movies there.
Yeah, like art house stuff.
He didn't think this is gonna do well.
Yeah.
So he just kind of just like fuck it, whatever. So like, but because also he thought it was gonna be his last, he like all his effort, all his attention went to this movie to make the movie how exactly he wanted to make it or whatever. Quiet pause. So I think I mentioned Jake LaMotta's in the movie. Not he is, but like I don't forget what scene he's in. But like he's involved in the movie. He trained Robert De Niro to like do boxing shit. And apparently Robert De Niro, obviously got fit to do the movie. He participated in real boxing fights, 3 of them, and he won 2.
Oh, damn.
And I think his name was like young Jake or like he didn't go under Robert De Niro.
Yeah, yeah.
And Jake said, like him watching, he's like, if he can do it full time, he could be one of the best boxers of all time. If Robert De Niro like
Actually-
he did it for realsies or whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess like he fought like Jake like thousands of times, like just to practice and to do the fight scenes or whatever. So I think that's pretty great praise to be like one of the best boxers. Be like you could have done
You could have gone
this,
pro.
and you could have just been like one of the best or whatever.
I mean, he's a good actor, so
I think
He didn't-
honestly
he
like
didn't need it.
Robert De Niro back then, and then maybe even later, like he's like seems I was one of the best actors of like, probably his time. He's kind of already like Christian Bale, where like he just does weight. Like he would get super skinny, he would get super ripped, he got super fat. For this movie, he got like obviously super fucking fat, and that's all
being
him
super
real life
skinny.
him getting really fucking
Yeah.
fat.
Oh, okay.
Like I think they said they stopped filming for 4 months,
Yeah.
and he just went to Europe and like Italy and just ate food all day.
Just a bunch of pasta.
I think one of the things like he ate pasta and then drank it down with a milkshake,
Oh my
and then went to
God.
sleep. I think he gained like 60 pounds
Jesus.
to be that, and then they got scared because they were he was so unhealthy.
Yeah.
They were like, "Yo, Rob,
You're gonna die.
like, you should stop." They're like, we'll wear the fat suit. Just stop." He's like, "No, we're gonna."
What they
I'm
do
gonna
for
fucking do
Joe? Just have him on constant workout.
And then I think fucking for Joe, he also lost weight because later he shows up in the end of the movie. He's like
For,
super skinny.
for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he got skinny for that. That's ironic because they get the opposite way. He got fucking.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there were, when he was in that fat phase of Robert De Niro, like he was like getting tired quicker. They had to like, it took longer to shoot those scenes because he kept running out of breath.
Oh.
That scene in the prison where he like breaks down,
Yeah.
it was like the hard because it took a lot out of him every time he kept doing it.
It's like a one shot thing. Too,
Yeah, so it's like he had
hard.
to like really like prepare himself or whatever.
Yeah.
That kind of again shows how like Robert De Niro, like what a crazy guy that guy was. I really do. I think when we watched this, it made me appreciate him a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we mentioned the Oscars. So I don't know if you know this. The Oscars happened the day after Ronald Reagan was a attempted assassination.
I didn't know this. No.
Oh, you didn't know that that somebody attempted to kill Ronald Reagan?
No, I didn't know that the Oscars took place after.
Oh.
One day after. Well, I think no one knew it, or I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea what the whole situation. But because the guy who tried to kill Ronald Reagan did it for Jodie Foster
Okay.
because of Taxi Driver.
What?
Because if you've never seen, you know,
No, I don't. I've never seen that. One.
Jodie Foster's a
yeah.
taxi driver, and she's like a kid in that or whatever.
Yeah.
And the dude who did it, he like watched the movie like a million times and like fell in love with Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
So he wanted to kill Ronald Reagan to impress her.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I've heard about this.
So during the Oscars, fucking Martin Scorsese, like before they even like did like his stuff, like the director and the movie stuff, he went to take a piss.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess FBI agents were there, but as like the guests, like as the audience, so they snuck with him in the bathroom, and they got him in the bathroom, and they were like, "We have to talk to you," and he's like, "What?" And then they told him what happened with Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
And then fucking Marshall's like, "Can I at least like see if like what if I like
If
if I
I
won
get-
the award? Like they haven't announced them yet. Like, can I stay?" And they were like, "We asked. Ordinary People won, and Robert Redford won Best Director." So there. So like they already just spoiled the ending, like who won, and then they took him away to like
Damn.
ask him questions, obviously, because he made Taxi Driver. He directed that movie.
Mhm.
Okay.
So they were like, "Oh, that's why they took him away or whatever."
I wonder why they needed to even bother questioning him.
Probably because they thought like, "Oh, did you do something involved in this?"
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, maybe you were like, this is your plan." Or, maybe obviously Taxi Driver. Maybe Jodie Foster's character is like, "Fuck Ronald Reagan, let's kill him" or something. I've never seen the movie.
Me
So
neither.
I can't.
Me
I
neither.
can't be like, that's why. Or
I
whatever.
don't know why anyone would want to do anything bad to Reagan.
I don't think anyone would do anything that crazy for someone that they don't know.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion, of
Yeah.
course, or whatever. Another thing that like Jake LaMotta's character, he was deaf and like partially deaf in one of his ears. That's why a lot of times he keeps asking them the same questions.
Yeah.
Because he generally can't hear.
Well, he fucking took punches to the face.
Yeah.
That'll
So
do
like
it.
that's he himself said that's kind of also why who got him mad for no reason a lot of times. It's because he couldn't hear shit. So he just got more. And they kept saying, she's like, what? And he just kept getting like that. Like it led to him like
Getting more upset.
more fucking aggressive or whatever.
Mm.
So in real life, in the book Raging Bull, Joey, the brother,
Yes.
he's not in the book at all.
Oh,
Because like I think I mentioned like their relationship is still like
not
Uh-huh.
good.
they never were like they never like got back together. So like he just didn't write them in the book,
Mhm.
and they were gonna use the book, and they were like, "Well, this is kind of weak." And then I guess when the dudes found out, they looked up like the history, like the documents, and they found another. He had a brother,
Mhm.
Joey character, and then they interviewed Joey. They asked Joey for shit or whatever, and they decided to make Joey in the movie
Yeah.
because I guess like the book he has a best friend,
Mm-hmm.
so they just fused the brother and the best friend to be the Joey character.
Oh.
So he's kind of like an amalgamation of like different kind of characters or whatever. But like, yeah, the real life Joey, he watched it and he fucking hated it.
Oh.
He was like, "Oh, this is like a bad representation, and blah 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 blah." Like I'm not that bad.
He goes-
I didn't do that.
He goes, I did not fuck
I didn't
his
fuck
wife.
his wife, like, shit like that or whatever. right?
Yeah, yeah.
Which I mean, I guess like anyone,
I didn't work with the mob. What are you talking about? What?
shit like that. We're like. I'm glad they did it that way, and I can't imagine him being like, "Yeah, that was me, baby."
Hey man, it was the whatever year it was, man.
Oh my
40s,
God.
baby. Well, to be fair, Jake LaMotta also was he was okay saying everything he did because obviously he works in the movie, so
Yeah, I guess you're
I guess he was fine with it. I mean, not everyone's gonna.
He also didn't realize that it was
How bad he was as a guy or whatever.
It's like, wait, people actually don't like this?
I'm not really that bad of a guy. I thought I was a cool guy.
I thought I was pretty baller.
I thought when I threatened to kill that dog and eat him, I thought that was pretty cool.
I thought I was pretty.
That was
chill.
the line taken straight out of the book. You know that?
Did you know?
Yeah.
Did you know that actually the dog barking wasn't from the set? Like a dog from far away.
That was just a dog.
like heard like someone joked like they heard him saying I'm gonna eat your dog.
Yeah.
Because he just made that line up. It's like, I'm gonna eat your dog, and I guess a dog heard that. And they're like,
Yeah.
and he's like, shut the fuck up. I did like that. They're like kind of slow. They're showing the Bronx, the classic like out the window. Hey, shut the fuck up! I'm talking to my wife. It's like, hey, shut the fuck up! I'm trying to make love to my wife. Shut the fuck out of here! Did you fuck my wife?
Let's
Any
pick our
more,
next-
Omar?
I think we're done.
I love this movie,
All right.
and I wish I was a boxer.
Well, the next movie's one of my
Alexander.
movies.
Yeah, it has to be one of your
Can we
movies.
go? Can we go? Consensual. All three of us like the movie now, please,
No.
because we've gotten two bad movies.
Oh, bad movie. Sure.
Let's see.
It's gonna be Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No, I can't see it. So
Killing of Sacred Deer.
What the hell's this?
man, I've heard. Like,
what the fuck
not
is
greatest.
this?
I've heard
It's
Good
Colin
things about
Farrell.
Killing.
the new
And
Joker,
the new Joker.
Barry Krogan, whatever his
I don't know
name
his
is.
name.
Coegan.
Yeah.
They're in it. I've heard like mixed things.
I've heard good things.
Is
It's
it
the
new?
No, at the same time that Lady Bird came out.
Ah,
I remember because when I looked up the whole
Oscar
Blade
stuff.
Runner.
Didn't this one win an award?
David didn't win like the best movie. I don't think he was even nominated for the best movie shit. So it might have been up for like something smaller.
Yeah.
But I've heard stuff. I haven't.
We'll find out.
I know zero things about this
We'll
movie,
find
so this is gonna be a new experience for me, guys.
But I love Colin Farrell, so
I do like him.
Yeah.
so any more of him, I'm fine with it. I guess we're just going downwards, huh?
Yeah.
What was it before Doondocks? Oh, Foxcatcher.
Oh, yeah.
Foxcatcher was good.
So like,
Foxcatcher
we're
was
just going.
good.
I bought that on Blu-ray for $3.
Did you really?
I found it at 5 for like $3 now.
Oh.
Like, I need this.
my like shitty box was like $5-6 or something.
Yeah, I'm glad I have a real box. So, that's all I'm saying.
I hate you, Alex.
Why?
You
You might like this one.
watching me like this was so bad.
I don't think we're ever gonna top 2049.
No, yeah.
I think that's the king right now.
Yeah.
Is that movie. So let's hope we get something eventually.
Hopefully.
But to sign off, this is goodbye.
Later.
Fuck my wife.
Did you fuck my wife?
Did you fuck my wife?
Now available to own on DVD and video.